I want to show you how to play a game that my family has been playing for a very long time. It is called Spite and Malice. My first memory of this game is playing it with my great-grandparents, mom, and grandpa at my great-grandparents' dining room table. I remember thinking how funny it was that my great-grandparents always were so competitive against each other. This game is somewhat hard to get used to playing, but once you get the hang of it, it's pretty easy to play. The purpose of this game is to get rid of the pile of cards that are in front of you. At least 2 people are needed to play this game, but no more than 6. You need 1 deck of cards per person playing. Keep your jokers in the deck. You can only have up to 4 discard piles at a time. There can be unlimited piles in the middle of the table. You can block people's moves and talk across the table to distract. You don't have to play any cards besides the ace card when you have it. You can draw 5 more cards from the center of the table if you use up all of the cards in your hand before you discard. Draw up to 5 cards at the beginning of your turn, not after you discard. You must wait until your next turn. After a player discards, their turn is over. Gather a deck of cards per person playing. There is 2 people playing, and a table that is big enough. Shuffle your 2 decks of cards in any way that you please. Make sure that they are very well shuffled before you stop. Now you want to deal out your cards. 5 to each player to start with. These you can look at. Then 15 to each player. These stay face down. You cannot look at these until you get to them. Once all of the cards are dealt out correctly to the players, put the rest of the cards on top of the big pile and move it to the middle. Then flip up the top card on your direct pile and move it off to the side. If the first player has an ace or a joker, they can play it face up next to the pile of cards. Then if they have another ace or another joker, they can then play that. Aces are required to be played when you first get them. If the player has no cards in their hand for them to play, they must discard. Discard the highest card in your hand. If there's no cards in your hand for you to play, you always need to be looking down at the faced-out pile on the table. If there is a card available to play, put it on its correct spot, then discard. If the player had a 2 card or so on, they should keep putting down cards until they have none left that they can play. You probably wouldn't get through all of the hand cards on the first round, but it is possible. Second person discard onto their own side of the table. Draw cards to get back up to 5 cards in your hand. I drew a 2 and put it back on the ace. Then I put down a 5 and I was able to play my faced-out pile. Make sure to flip the next card up. Continue going through the rest of the game. In this turn, my mom goes through 4 of her cards in her hand and then discards. Her next turn, she would draw 5 cards. She cannot draw until I am done with my turn. If she could have played that last card that she discarded, she would have picked up 5 more cards. In this turn, I draw 1 card, a joker. I play my joker on a 6. Jokers can be played anywhere at any time to help you out. Then I played an 8 on top of it, and then I played a 9. Then I could play the 10 on my faced-up pile. I flipped up the next card, and it was another joker. But before I played that, I played a jack that I had in my discard piles. You can also play your discard piles at needed times too. I played my faced-up joker as a queen, so I could play my king on my discarded pile. The next card in my pile was a 7, which I could also play. Then I played my 9 in my hand to discard, and then my turn was over. Since I brought one of the center piles up to a king, she took it out of the center and put it over to the side. She drew 5 more cards, but she had no moves, so she discarded. We continued through the game until we were almost out of center cards. We are both now up to 4 discard piles, so now, instead of making new discard piles, we have to keep stacking cards on top of other discard piles. We ran out of cards in the center pile, so she took the not being used cards and reshuffled them, making sure that they are shuffled good since they're all in order. I drew 2 cards, a 2 and a 6. I had a 3 in my face-up pile, so I played it on top of the existing 2. The next card in my pile wasn't helpful, so I put it back down. I could play the 6 I drew, but my mom had a 7. I want to block her since she's closer to winning than I am. I do not play the 6, and I leave her stranded.
Hey Lissy, it's going to be so much fun when Survivor's on tonight. I can't wait to see if Jessica gets voted out.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch it either, but I hope that Edgar gets voted out instead of Jessica. I do not see that I could have played my 4, and I discard.
Ha ha, you didn't play your 4!
We continue going through the game. My mom is down to 1 card in her pile. She plays and wins.
I won!
You can play this game for money, but it's just optional. My family plays it for a quarter or card left in your hand. You can play for any amount of money that you would like, not just a quarter. And the winner of the game gets the money. Spite Malice is a very fun game to play with family, and it isn't very complicated. Once you get the rules down, the game goes by really smoothly, and it can be very fun. Anyone can play this game if they give it a try, have good strategy, and can play nice with their family members. Have fun playing Spite and Malice!